Good morning, Tarosphere. It's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures. I am live this morning with a content with I never thought that I would ever make a video about Reiki or my Reiki practice. We're going to wait a few minutes for people to pop on, but today we're going to be talking about Reiki and Consent, which was kind of brought to the forefront for me through a little it was like an online thing. I took an online course in Reiki. I've done in-person Reiki attunements and trainings as well, but I like having written material like to access at all times. And I'm not like I keep papers around, but I don't ever read papers. Hi, Simon. How are you? My God, it's been so long since I've seen you. So excited. But yeah, anyway, I took an online course because the online course materials were fantastic. They were very surprisingly in depth. Like sometimes Udemy, like, yay. I mean, for a $9 course, I'm not going to knock it. But anyway, that gives you access to a private, I say private because how private can a group with a bajillion people in it that, just $9 gets you access to it? How private can that be? But it gives you access to a private Facebook group. And in there, somebody brought up the subject of Reiki and consent, which I found to be an interesting subject, mostly because in Reiki teaching, there are two contradictory tenets regarding consent. So first of all, we're not talking about consent in an in-person setting. Like if you are working with a client, if you are in a client's personal space, if you are conducting your energy, like if you are anywhere in anybody's 3-foot bubble, you should definitely 100% get verbal and probably written consent from your client and from anybody that you're giving Reiki to. Like, if you can be like, hey, person standing right next to me, I would like to give you some Reiki. Is that okay? Yeah, do that. Like 100% of the time, yes. Where it gets tricky, and anybody that's studied Reiki in any capacity. Hi, Selkie. Hi, Lee. How are you? Where it gets tricky and where the internet fighting begins. Yay, internet fighting. Why do I do it at all? Where it gets tricky is these two following tenets of Reiki. One is that the first thing that you learn is that, aside from like the history of Reiki, is that Reiki is an intelligent energy and it will only go where it is needed or wanted. Like you can't make hey, what are you doing? Yeah, he has opinions on it too. But yeah, you can't make it do or go anywhere you don't want it to go. It's basically it's an intelligent energy. A lot of the times, even like when you're in a session, your teacher will tell you or your Reiki practitioner will tell you, we can try and direct it at this issue that you've asked me to direct it at, but it's going to go where it wants to go and it's going to do what it wants to do. I give him Reiki all the time, Simon. I do. Yes, because he's so handsome. So yeah, that's the first thing you're taught is that Reiki will only go where it is wanted or needed. And then, oh, Lee, were you on that? Oh my God. The other problem with Reiki is that they tell you should always get consent no matter what, regardless of the type of Reiki that you're doing. So one of the types of Reiki that you can do is called distance Reiki. It's Honshoze Shonen. And that means you can send Reiki through space and time. Now, a lot of people, like I like to think of it in terms of quantum physics and stuff. And like, it's kind of neat to think about that, but it's highly impractical to be like, say somebody wanted to send some Reiki into the future for those recovering from the forest fires in Australia or the bush fire. That is like the big example that's been thrown around. I'm not going to write a letter to everyone in Australia to get express consent from their future selves to send them Reiki. Like it's not like nobody can do that. It's so impractical. Or like, let's say you read a story about some little kid who has like leukemia and they did this miraculous GoFundMe and you can't, like reaching out to a family you don't know, that's highly, like, I don't know about you, but like that's highly, like, I would feel like that would be invasive. Instead, like, but like maybe you want to send Reiki to those people in that situation, in that family anyway. Like, I'm not going to call a family I don't know and be like, can I send your son Reiki? Like, I don't know anything about you or your belief system or blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not something I'm going to ask. But given the principle that Reiki is an intelligent energy that will only go where it is wanted or needed, and you only act as a channel, like another big tenet of Reiki is that Reiki energy isn't yours. You're only a channel for it. It's a universal energy. It's divine, intelligent energy. Like, do you really need consent in like that kind of situation, given that Reiki will only go where it's wanted or needed? And so if that person for some whatever level or reason doesn't want or need the Reiki, like, wouldn't. Hi. Oh my God, you guys, he has opinions on this. Yeah, you have opinions. Yeah, I mean, it's just oh my God. So yeah, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put him back in his cage if he's gonna keep screaming in my ear like that. Hi, yeah. You got opinions? Do you see yourself on this? I'll be right back, you guys. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh my goodness. You're going to act like a silly butt on the cage. All right, he's away. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, for some reason, like, I don't know, like, I can't let this go. Like, I don't know why I can't let it go. It's such a stupid thing to argue with people about on the internet. Like, Reiki it's a loving energy. Like, how can it, like, it can't, I don't know. But anyway, I'd love to hear your opinions on it. But my view is that Reiki is its own built-in consent fail-safe. If that person wouldn't have consented, if you would talk to them in person, they're not going to get it. Like, it's either you trust the energy is sentient and does what it wants, or you don't. Like, it's that simple. But anywho, I thought I would just jump on real quick and talk about it. So what do you guys think? Yeah, Selkie, I'm kind of with you. Like, yeah, Reiki just kind of sorts it. Yeah, I don't know. So Lee, I didn't know that you were on that Reiki group. That's awesome to know. Give me, like, I did not know that you were on there. Good to know. Somebody's like, now that I know that somebody from YouTube is on there. Where do we stand with sending Reiki back in time? Oh my God, these animals. I think it's possible on like a quantum level. Like, if you think about it, the universe is energy. Time is not linear. I mean, if you you only recently joined, well, Lee, I'm sorry that you had to see that as your first experience in that forum. It's not usually that stupid over there. I'm going to say stupid you can't consent sending Reiki back in time. Like, you can't, like, who knows what 16-year-old me would have said. Like, I send Reiki to, like, me and my friends all the time, like, as children. Like, just like I consent now, but who knows what, like, shitty 16-year-old me would have said. Like, or like a friend of mine was super atheistic when she was younger, and now she's kind of like me. We're kind of walking the same thing, like, oh yeah, but like, who knows what, like, crappy attitudinal, like, hormonal, like, shithead us would have said. Like, who knows, right? So, like, am I supposed to not send, like, but I know that us at that age could have used it. So do you not send it then? Like, or into the future? Like, you don't know what future you was going to say. Like, you can't, well, so Twitter is its own beastly. Like, Twitter is its own horrible beast. Like, you go on Twitter looking for a fight. Like, don't you go. It's pretty much expect a fight on Twitter. Like, but anyway. But anyway, are we talking? No, Simon, we're talking about. So there's an online learning space called Udemy, Udemy. You know what? I'll just type it in the thing. Oh my God, I can't type. So udemy.com. It's like U Academy, so Udemy. I think it's a really stupid name, but and it kind of takes away. But there's a Reiki course on there by a woman called Lisa Powers, and it is fantastic. Yeah, if time isn't linear, then the past really isn't the past. So by doing it, you're automatically consenting. Oh my God, Lee, are we gonna go all Back to the Future on this? Does it create a paradox if you send Reiki to yourself back in time? Like, like it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's like the whole conversation is just one big thought exercise. And another I don't know. So everybody, that's not a troll. That Church of Iron person is my husband. So I guess he's kind of a troll. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like, the whole, if it's to someone else back in time, it creates a paradox for them, maybe, because you're sending positive. Like, it's so stupid. Like, the whole thing. Somebody who's passed, yeah, but like, what if Reiki could have improved their situation and then they would have lived a little bit longer? Like, it's so silly. Like, the whole thing is just like this painful thought exercise in like what is and what isn't. And it's so ridiculous. The other thing that I saw happening was people dragging their own dogmatic beliefs into what Reiki is and what Reiki isn't. And I really think that the part about Reiki being an intelligent energy is just kind of skimmed over. That shit's important. It's way more important than Dr. Usui performing miracles coming down the mountain. Like, that shit's ridiculous. But, the fact that, like, hey, this is an intelligent energy that's available to literally everyone and it only does good. Like, that's important. Oh my goodness. I suppose, yeah, Simon, it could aid in their passing, and it, you're right. It's like, there's a whole slew of, like, you can't get, like, it's impossible. Like, half the people that you send Reiki to, unless you're super stingy with your Reiki, is just, well, it's not, and I hate to say your Reiki, but like the way that I don't know. It's so silly. But yeah, like, a lot of people drag their own personal belief systems into Reiki, and it seems that a lot of people forget that Reiki energy isn't your energy. The whole point of learning to do Reiki is so that way you don't have to send your own personal energy to somebody to heal them. Like, you don't have to make a personal energetic connection to them. You don't have to send them your own personal energy. Like, that's the whole fucking point of learning how to channel Reiki. Like, there's no, like, so people are just like, oh my God, don't touch my energy body with your filthy energy. And it's like, but it's not my energy. It's Reiki energy. It's totally different. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's just like, first of all, Reiki isn't your energy. It's an energy separate from yourself. It's basically source energy. Like, if you want to really boil it down, energy is just energy from source, and source is whatever you perceive your deity to be. Like, so if you think that there is God, capital G, or if you think that there is like a giant white universal light in the sky, like, it's like, that's what Reiki is. Like, it's source. It's the source of all energy in the universe. And if you believe in the tenets of Reiki, you believe that it can only do good. So again, like, the whole, like, I don't know, it's just, you should not interfere when someone's passing over. It could halt the progress of passing over. Yeah, but see, in that case, Selkie, Reiki wouldn't, like, if Reiki was going to halt the process, like, that's doing harm, and Reiki can't do harm. Like, the whole point about Reiki is it only does good, and it only does stuff for the highest and best, and it can only go where it is wanted or needed. And in the case of somebody passing, if Reiki energy is going to interfere with them passing over or halt the progress, it's not going to go there, because it's its own, like, as I wrote in that group, it's its own built-in failsafe. It's not going to be like, nope, this is going to suck for you because we're doing some Reiki. Because that would be selfish. And if you don't understand that that's what Reiki is, like, you need to, I don't know, like, I think the thoughts about what Reiki is and isn't should be reframed. I don't know. And yeah. Oh my God, I can hear, he wouldn't go back in his cage. I can hear him crawling around out there. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, how do you know if your dog will give you consent to do Reiki on him? I mean, like, so in that case, Amy, what most books and what most courses have taken on Reiki for animals is you should always give your animal, you can send them, like, the thought for consent, if you really are worried about it, but always give them, don't hold them against their will. Give them the opportunity to either move into or move away from Reiki, because it'll go, like, again, it goes where it's wanted or needed. So if your animal really needs Reiki, they'll seek you out. Like, if you sit there and, like, meditate and do your own Reiki session on you in the same room with your animal, if your animal wants Reiki, they'll come sit next to you. Like, they'll let you know. But if they want to sit next to you, but they don't want Reiki, they're not going to get it, because Reiki, again, it goes where it goes only where it's wanted or needed, where it's going to do good. And, like, I don't understand why people think that giving Reiki when there is no consent is going to result in the person who wouldn't consent having, like, receiving Reiki. Like, that's, to me, that is just so contradictory to what the base teaching is, which is that Reiki is an intelligent healing energy. Like, it's so, yeah, give him Reiki. Like, see if he likes it. I don't know. I'd like to hear, I know Benabelle has this, Benabelle does not, she's got her own thoughts on Reiki, but I would love to hear her thoughts on actually, I would love to hear her thoughts on Reiki and consent, and, like, about Reiki being an like, I don't know, just, it's so interesting to hear what, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. But anyway, that is really all that I wanted to talk about. Does anybody wish to talk about anything else? I'm trying to keep the videos till about 20 minutes, because that seems to be the sweet spot for videos in the future. I'll probably make a more lecture-y version. I do like a live chat, though. Actually, Amy, there is a really good, have you read Cindy Dale's Energy Wellness for Pets yet? Because that's a good book. I actually have that one in stock for when you come and see me this weekend, which I can't wait. But yeah, that's a good one for helping him feel calmer and more supported. And then you could probably try an herb or two. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just that, like, this is going to be running around on the little stupid little hamster wheel of my brain, Reiki and consent. And I don't know. I don't think that, I don't know. It's so silly. Like, it is just so silly. Some of the things that those people were saying. It is 10:12, Simon. So it's not that early. So I have to, like, I should have opened 12 minutes ago, but whatever. If I'm late, it's not a big deal. What am I going to do? Fire me? God, that would be so amazing if I could fire me. Oh, I'm dreaming about it, you guys. Collect unemployment for myself. Oh, so good. So good. But yeah, I don't know. So you've got Reiki overs, and then Reiki to a situation, and then Reiki to the, like, people who send Reiki to the earth. Like, you can't really get the earth's consent. No, Simon, the shop isn't sold yet. The shop isn't sold yet. There are some people that are interested in it. We dropped the price again. I don't know. I've been going and I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's an herbalism apprenticeship that I want to take that's coming up in the spring. And it's going to take a lot of time. and some weekends, and I'm hoping to get it sold before that because I really, 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 really want to do that. And I'm taking some online courses for herbalism in the meantime, but until that shit gets sold, there's not much I can do. But yeah, so yeah, it's like, sending Reiki to inanimate objects, which you can do. Do you get consent of, one of my Reiki, my in-person Reiki teacher, one of her favorite stories is about how she sends Reiki to an onion so it doesn't make her cry when she cuts it. Can you get consent from the onion? I mean, the onion's a living being. Can you get consent from plants? Like, you can't. So I don't know. It just, is there strict guidelines for ethics? No, it's not. So the only really strict guideline for ethics, Amy, is for in-person client sessions. If somebody seeks you out as a client to receive Reiki, you have them sign a consent form, because Reiki is either practiced in the energy body or hands-on the actual physical body. So if you're in that, like anything where you're going to be operating in somebody's 3-foot bubble, like, their personal space bubble, that little, the 3-foot whatever around them, I would even extend that to 5 feet. If you're going to be in the same room with somebody doing Reiki, like, you 100% need consent if they are of age, and consent from them and from parents if they are underage. So that is where the solid guidelines are. But even within every course that I've taken on Reiki, and I've taken quite a few, because I don't think that you should learn from one source and then claim that as like, yep, that's it. I've actually taken 5 Reiki classes, 5 of them so I've taken 5 classes that were all Reiki level 1. I've taken 4 classes that are Reiki's level, that included Reiki level 1 and 2. And I've taken 3 classes that take you through to Reiki Master. So those were all stacked on each other. 5 were the level 1, 4 of them were through level 2, and then 3 of them from level 1 to Master. And then I've taken continuing education courses on, Reiki on animals, Reiki for time and distance. They had their own little unit on that. And then I've got a few other Reiki courses that I haven't started, that I need to wrap up, but I'll probably have about 10 of them under my belt before the year ends out. And as far as Reiki for consent over time and distance, it gets very murky. It's like in one of the slides on the course that's being debated, it says always get consent, and then it says on the next slide, unless you feel like you are really, oh my God, I am covered in cat and dog hair, you guys. Holy shit. It says, unless you get consent, unless you feel, will Reiki be probably not going to be a business venture? I incorporate it into a little bit of what I do every day. But I don't know. I don't know. It probably won't be like a business venture. I don't know. Maybe at some point. I'm not going to say no, because I've had some things bouncing around my head, but it probably won't be anything that I personally see clients for. Does that make any sense? I just really love learning. If I could be a professional student for the rest of my life, I think I would be. But anyway, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, you can't take anything that I've ever read. Like, it gets murky. Anyway, so yeah, Lee, it's just some folks' insistence on consent is a way to make themselves a white knight in the situation. It can be an imposition. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see other people's take on it. Definitely comment below with what you think. I'm going to put the link to the Reiki course that I took, specifically the one that we're talking about. I will caveat it with never pay more than $9 for it. Udemy has sales all the time. I think they have Groupons all the time. Maybe you could go as high as 11, but if you're taking a course on Udemy, there is no reason you should be paying more than $9. Like, seriously, you guys, it is like don't, like, because I think that course is like $70 if you just pay for it outright, and you can get it for $9. Like, I bought it for $9. Like, you can, it's seriously, it's dirt cheap. They have sales every once in a while. Like, so don't pay more than $9.99 for it. That being said, it is worth every goddamn penny. Like, it would be worth every penny at 70, considering how much you pay for Reiki. That's the other beef I have about Reiki, is having to pay for access to Reiki. Guess what? Attunements are kind of bullshit, but we'll talk about that at some other point. Yeah, I'm gonna sip my tea. Attunements are bullshit. Yeah. Oh my God, I hear Beaker. But yes, attunements are bullshit because everybody has access to Reiki. Attunements kind of fast track you. But yeah, I'm gonna put the link to the Udemy class below in the description for the video. And then maybe tomorrow I'll make a video about how attunements are bullshit. That sounds like a plan, you guys. All right, I'm going because I gotta go open the shop, and I think I see him walking past the door out there. Okay, I gotta go rescue Beaker. Yeah, an exchange of sorts. Well, so Simon, it's not so much like paying somebody for their time as they do energy work on you is one thing, but we'll get more into this tomorrow because I'm excited about this. I want to talk about this. So paying somebody for their time to perform an energy healing on you, and Beaker came in here of his own accord. Hi, Corby. Come here. Are you ready to play nice? Yeah, paying somebody for their, God, this gets repetitive with a live, doesn't it? Paying somebody for their time to perform an energy healing session on you, like, that is not, I don't think that that's a bad thing. Like, it's kind of like paying somebody for a tarot reading, right? So but tarot is accessible to everybody. All you need to do is learn the basics and have a deck, right? Like, so, like, Reiki, though, like, in order to be a Reiki practitioner, there's this horrible, maybe we'll talk about it now. There is this financial barrier to entry for most people in what's called a Reiki attunement. So a Reiki attunement, like, if you have the money and the time for a Reiki attunement, by all means, I've done it. I did it 5 times. I just said I did it 5 times. 2 of those were for in-person, and they weren't cheap. The in-person ones weren't cheap. I think my first one was $175. And then the second one that I did, which was a course that I liked much better, which is why I went on to Reiki 2 with that Reiki master. That one was $222 for Reiki 1. So Simon, good, excellent. Yeah, but that's the way it should be. Honestly, there shouldn't be. Plus, an attunement, like, if you think about it, like, definitely do an in-person attunement. It's a great experience. Being in a classroom environment like that is a wonderful way to network with peers in your geographical area. Like, it's great to get to know people, right? But paying $222 for an attunement is kind of bullshit. When you, like, if you don't have the money for it, you shouldn't have to, because Reiki, here's the thing, everybody has access to Reiki. You're also taught in early classes, like, remember, I'm spilling Reiki secrets, you guys. Remember when, like, you would fall and you would skin your knee and you would, like, put your hands on it right away, or, like, your mom would come over and she'd kiss your boo-boo and that would magically make it feel better. Placebo effect, of course, but the thought is that you're also channeling Reiki energy when you do that, which means that we all have a connection. We are born with an innate connection to Reiki. And it's my personal belief that all an attunement does is fast track that connection for you. It helps to put you in a headspace where you're putting that connection front and foremost. It's a financial commitment to develop that connection as well. Money is a motivator, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you're going to drop $200 for a Reiki 1 attunement, you bet your ass you're going to be practicing Reiki every day, at least for a while, right? Like, there's no reason Like, it's just, but there's no reason that you can't sit there and develop that connection. Like, you know, take a book out of the library, learn what Reiki is, learn how to do the Reiki, like hand whatevers. And, you know, like there's no reason that you can't develop that connection on your own. And that doesn't make your Reiki any less powerful. And that doesn't make your Reiki any different from any other person's. Because it's silly. Like, the only thing that I would stress that you have to remember is that Reiki energy is not to be conflated with your own energy. Like, if you're feeling weak and drained after you've given a Reiki session, you're channeling something wrong. Like, you gotta work on that. But that is the one thing that was kind of drilled into my head when I took Reiki for the second time with the person. But yeah, it's an all-day class and so much fun. And the teacher and our other, so yeah, Reiki, like, sometimes it's with like, I hate that there's a barrier to entry for people. And then, like, there's also, like, within Reiki, there's people that are just like, oh, did you learn it online or on your own? Then your Reiki isn't, like, as good. Like, it's oh my God, there's so much bullshit in Reiki. Humans just fuck up everything with their bullshit. Oh my God. Like, that's basically, I think, where this talk is going to end. Maybe I won't talk about Reiki and attunements tomorrow. Maybe I will post a video, but maybe I'll, you know what? Fuck it. I want to get paid. Maybe I'll put a paywall on it. That'll learn me. That'll learn everyone. No, I don't know. It's gatekeepy. Thank you, Lee. No, I've always promised this channel will never be monetized, and I don't think I'm going to be doing that. But maybe I'll do a series on, like, some down to earth, like, want to learn some Reiki? Here's some down to earth bullshit. Like, here's a good book. Here's a good resource. Like, here's how to get into Reiki cheap. Because not everybody can afford in-person classes. If you can, do them. Because I made some great friends. You know, and it, like, I've made some great connections through doing Reiki in person, but you don't need to. Like, I don't know, it's so stupid. Reiki. Oh, Reiki. Anyway. Yeah, it's the same thing. Same thing, Amy. If you teach yourself tarot instead of taking a class, then your tarot isn't as good. Like, it's the same idea. You know, if you can take a tarot class, great, do it 100%. You make some friends. Some people are better classroom learners than they are self learners. But, you know, like, at the end of the day, as long as you buckle down and study, you're getting your shit done. Like, it doesn't, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Anywho, now that I have brain vomited all of this ridiculousness out to you guys, I feel so much better. And I'm also going to make myself a promise that I'm not going back on that Reiki forum for the rest of the day, because I'm actually locked in battle with one specific person who's kind of a bitch, but it's not very in the spirit of Reiki of me, is it? Anyway, Lee knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I'm going to make myself a promise that I'm not going on Facebook for the rest of the day. I will be bouncing around on YouTube in the comments, though. So I would love to see. Hi, Bo City. How are you? You're just missing me, sweetie pie, because I got to run. But yeah, post in the comments about how you feel about consent and Reiki. You know, whether or not Reiki is truly an intelligent energy, or whether you should get a consent from somebody before sending it. And hi, Brenda. Oh my goodness. And then oh, Lee, thank you for the support, Lee. It means a lot. And then also post in the comments. I'd like to hear how people feel about attunements and Reiki, how Reiki can be kind of like how the community can be a little gatekeepy. And yeah, I'd like to hear, like, just general thoughts about it. Let's keep this discussion going, you guys. But I'm gonna go, and I'll see you later. Bye. Say bye, Beaker. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Beaker. Say bye.